He says, no, we were wrong to say that South Africa belongs to all who live in it. This is the Minister of Finance. He says we should have agreed, we were wrong, and we should have, in the 80s, and gives this elaborate story about debates in the 80s, which doesn't speak to this history. There's no, we had a debate with Black Consciousness PAC people about this point, and maybe they were right. But President, the reason the finance minister goes to this extent to ask for this constitutional change, he says the country is overburdened. Because now everybody in the continent, I don't know why he says that, but he says people come because they think South Africa belongs to all who live in it. We must rethink that. This country doesn't have resources to take care of the whole continent.
Obviously, the Minister of Finance is very, very wrong. You know, two things we're saying about this. You know, people maybe don't understand this. The commitment of the African continent to the liberation of South Africa is very strong. I'm talking about the commitment of the ordinary people, not governments and parties, the ordinary people. And there's a particular sentiment towards South Africa from the continent. A sense of ownership, of belonging. And you can't change it. It's right through the continent. South Africa belongs to all of us. It's our thing. And of course, it's more developed and all of this and the other thing. There is no way we as South Africans are going to stop Africans coming to South Africa. No way. I don't care how many electrical fences you build. It's going to happen. So the challenge we face as South Africans is how do we deal with that? You can't keep these fellow Africans out of South Africa, and you can't define our relationship with South Africa versus the other Africans as enemies. These are our enemies who've come to our country to take our jobs and all of that. They will come. I'm saying I don't care how many electrical fences you build. With the challenge we face, what is it that we do in order to respond to that problem? The last thing I'd like to say, maybe I must talk to the Minister of Finance. There's a very important book by Professor Mahmoud Mamdani of Uganda, who talks about settler colonialism, that book, and discusses the US as an example of settler colonialism, Israel as an example of settler colonialism, South Africa as an example of, and he says, of all of these examples, how to respond to the historical reality of settler colonialism. The only ones who got it right are the South Africans. And he's right, maybe we should give that book to the Minister of Finance, and it might teach him something.